By participating in this video webinar, you are consenting to our collection, including recording in accordance with this privacy notice. Information is also processed via video conferencing platform Microsoft Teams meeting. Vertex Systems Inc. respects your right to privacy and is committed to protect the confidentiality and your personal information. We maintain physical, technical, and organizational confidentiality and organizational safeguards to protect your data in compliance to the Data Privacy Act of 2012, RA 10173, its implementing rules and regulations, and relevant issuance of the National Privacy Commission.
Before we start the session, here are some important things to know. All attendees are placed on mute. This webinar is being recorded, and an email will be sent to you after the session to download the presentation materials and watch the recorded session. If you have questions, you may type it on the chat panel on your screen, and we will accommodate that after the presentations. And of course, your feedback is important to us, so tell us how we did. Do not forget to leave your feedback. Before the end of the session, the link and QR code will be provided later on.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for your time and visiting today's webinar, WSI Teams Room Partner Community Call. My name is Vivian Sarbano. I'm the Product Specialist of Microsoft Cloud, and together with me is the Microsoft Teams Room Specialist, Ms. Rodessa Jimena. Hi, Dessa.
Thank you, Ma'am B, and good morning and welcome everyone. So as we start, let me give you a glimpse of who we are. So please watch this short WSI video presentation. All right. So
Okay.
lastly, we would like to introduce to you We Sell It. We Sell It is an online marketplace where to buy IT products through our trusted partners. So it is the Philippines' first and only IT focused online marketplace for small and medium-sized businesses. This new platform promises to provide innovation and technology to our clients with ease, convenience, and guaranteed 100% original products. So We Sell It offers a wide range of hardware and software brands. So if you have any questions, contact details are flashed on your screen, or you can view and experience it by going to www.wesellit.ph.
All right. Today we will share our perspective on our Teams Room channel strategy, goals, and provides resources that you can leverage to grow Teams Room business with our channel partners. So, to help us discuss the Microsoft Teams Room update, I'd like to introduce our presenter, Mr. Prashant Singh Bishnoy, our partner technology specialist from Microsoft Teams. Hi, Prashant.
Hi, Vivian. Hi, Radisha.
Good
How are you?
morning.
Good morning, Sir
Morning.
Prashant. Yeah,
So, should I take the stage?
Yes, you may.
So, let me start sharing the content. Once you start seeing it, let me know. Can you see the content?
Yes, Prashant. You may now proceed.
Okay. Nice. So, a very good morning and hello to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank WSI team for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to talk about the latest Microsoft Teams Room tech updates to all of you. So the agenda is quite simple today. It's not a very deep dive. It's more on the updates that are coming on Windows-based MTRs as well as on Android-based MTRs in the month of March and April. So that will keep you ahead of times, and you can have a discussion with your customers in terms of getting these features getting rolled out in the coming months. So in next 15 minutes, I'll take you through the innovative features and the upcoming release and the firmwares for these devices and the Teams Room solutions. So first of all, before I jump onto the feature set that are coming up, I would like to tell you the methodology on which we develop the features within the Microsoft Teams Room solutions. So the methodology talks about the four pillars. And the first pillar of for this is the inclusiveness. The inclusiveness is basically that everybody can be seen and heard clearly and are on the equal field in terms of collaborating with each other regardless where they are or from which device they are joining, whether they are at home or in office or in between somewhere, they get that chance to give the complete immersive and inclusive experience to the users as if they're sitting in the same room. The second pillar is ease of use of the devices, which give you a single touch joining experience and maybe a joining experience through voice commands as well. Say, hey, Cortana, join my meeting, and you join the call. So this is a no touch experience also. So that way it gives you an extra added advantage to get into a meeting room without IT intervention. The third pillar and the most important one is the flexibility. So we have the solutions from our partners who are certified with Microsoft like Jabra, Poly, and Logi, and you'll be hearing from them in the later half of this webinar about the solutions they had to offer in all sizes of the rooms across the customer organizations. Whether it is a 2 to 4 seater focus rooms or it is a mid-size rooms, large room, extra large room, training rooms, auditoriums, and you get to have those solutions available with our Teams Room certified partners. And the last pillar is the security and the manageability of these rooms which you deploy in the organizations. So security is the key aspect today, whether it is an Android-based device or a Windows-based device. The CISOs of the company are looking forward for having the utmost security because the complete traffic moves over internet. So it becomes more and more viable for all the organizations have a secure device within their network. And we offer that security with our devices on the cloud. And the second is the manageability that equally is important to manage the complete set of devices within your organization remotely, sitting on a single disk centrally and getting everything on a single pane of a glass. So that way, these are the key pillars on which the innovation of Microsoft Teams Room depends on. So to start with, I'll start with the Teams Room on Windows updates. I have very less time that has been given to me by WSI, so I will quickly run through it. In case you need any further details on these features, do put it on the chat. I'll be able to answer it on there. So the first one, now we are coming up with a new software window application version, which is 4.16. Presently, we are on 4.15.xs, and now we are coming on 4.16, and this will be getting rolled out by end of this quarter or early April. And you will see a new look altogether on Microsoft Teams Room on Windows platform, whether it is your front of room display or the touch console sitting on the table. Now, what all new is there in these looks? So the first one is the calendar on the console and the front of room display. So earlier we used to have only 3 tiles of calendar on the touch console, and that was a blocker in terms of customer acceptance of Microsoft Teams Room on Windows devices. And now we have come up with a calendar section where you can have the complete day's calendar available to you, and you can just scroll it and see the meetings for the day on the calendar itself. So that way it has now come at par with the Android-based experience, what we used to have earlier, only on Android platform. Now it is available on Windows platform. So the second part is the updates of the console. So now what we have seen earlier, we used to have only meet, call, and share button on top of the touch console on the table. But now we have more icons coming on top of it so that it makes it easy for the user to join the meeting at their own will. So today, if you see, we will be having join via ID option on top of the screen. Plus, we have a menu which will be an overflow menu, and it will not be in a visual queue which is not acceptable to the users. It will be in a new visual queue where you get all the other aspects on the overflow menu, like accessibility, settings, or restart device. All these will be coming in new looks and new queues, I would say. So apart, I'll not go into detail in each and every icon, but yes, these are the looks which will be there in your Microsoft Teams Room on Windows devices from version 4.16. Also, if you see the bottom right image, there is an uh, I would say a simplified way of seeing the error messages on the top of the touch console, and you will get more relevant details coming out of it, and the user can automatically do the necessary first-hand troubleshooting of the device in case he has any problems with them. The next is the ambient screen. Earlier, we used to have in Windows 8 themes which were available, but with this new version, we'll be having new 5 exciting themes coming up, and you can choose any of these 13 themes going forward. Apart from that, in case your customer is using some customized theme background, that will remain as is. Only there'll be a certain adjustment that would be required just because of the calendar section that is coming up there. So this is a new thing on the ambient side of it. And the last on the Windows part is on the switcher menu. So, excuse me. So this switcher menu is being developed in order to manage the front row layout. If you don't know about the front row layout, so front row layout is a layout where you get the video in the gallery mode, you get the content in the center, and then you have left and right columns where you get the hand raise option and the chatting option to be seen in a single frame in the meeting room. So that front row is being getting customized, and you will be having an option where do you want to keep the raise hand option, left or right side, and accordingly the chat options. Apart from that, you can disable these options also in case you don't want these options during your. The other part is in not only in the front row layout, but now we'll be having the chatting option enabled on gallery, large gallery, and together mode also. So that is a key ask from our customers, that in case they are using a gallery mode layout, they would like to see the chat as well. And that is the second part of the meeting, which always keeps on going once we are discussing on the video. So you have an icon there. You can see on the top left corner, show chat option. You can enable it on the fly. You can disable on the fly, and accordingly it will be shown or not shown during the call. So these were a couple of updates on the Windows Teams Room on Windows front, and now I'll be taking you through Teams Room on Android updates. And I think these updates are the monster updates as per our partners. So just hang on, I'll go through it. The important messaging for it is going to get GA'd in April, that is in coming month, and there might be a delay between the release of this firmware from Microsoft to the software coming on the devices, because these updates might take some time on the device front, and that for that you need to go back to your OEM partners like Jabra, Poly, and Logi to talk about when are they launching these updates on their devices. So, but from Microsoft side, it will be available and G8 in early April. So now coming to the feature set. So the first feature, we were always wanting it in some parts of our regions across Asia, and that was meeting ID dial using a meeting ID and a passcode. And that was available recently on Windows, and now we are putting up it in Android-based MTRs as well. Second is the single tap ad hoc meeting. So this was the most wanted one. I would say earlier, up till now, it used to happen was when you click on the meet button, then it used to open a dialog box where you need to enter the participant name and then call in the participant to start the meeting and then start sharing the content. But now, like Windows, you'll be having a feature where when you click on the Meet Now button, you will have your meeting will start. Then you can set up the stage by initiating the content or the whiteboard, whichever is required during the call, and then you can invite the participants in the call. So that is one more experience that has been added to Android Blaze platform. The third one is HDMI content auto share control, a very, very asked feature set from our AV vendors. So all our AV partners used to have third-party devices, and that too content sharing devices like Barco or any other device which used to have an HDMI output and have and generally goes into the MTR as in content input. And once you start as soon as you put in the HDMI input into the content input of your MTR, it starts showing the content without you pressing the share button. So it was automatic, but that was not acceptable. So we have come up with an option now where you have to press the share button before you start sharing the content always. In case you want it to be the way it was earlier, you can enable or disable the same way. HDMI audio share. I think I used to get around 10 to 11 calls every day on this from our partners and customers. When are we coming up with this? So we had HDMI ingest available on Android-based devices, but there was no audio that used to go there. But now we have an option where you can enable this inside your settings, and now you can share the audio with your HDMI ingest in the Android-based devices. Again, it is customizable. In case you don't want it to happen within your organization, you can disable it at an admin level also. Coming to the front row, so this is the front row layout, which I was talking about in the Windows-based updates. And now this front row is available, will be available with the coming version, firmware version on Android-based platforms also. So now there is a complete parity between Microsoft Teams Room on Windows and Android platforms, with front row layout coming as one of the features to it. Then we are again coming up with the same feature we discussed on the Windows updates, and that is you can enable the chatting option not only on the front row layout, but also in gallery, large gallery, and together mode. And that can be on the fly. So once you enable it, you can see on the left bottom corner, the chat gets enabled. And if you disable it, then the chat will go off. So it's a very intuitive and interesting feature. Coming out to the next one, which is the collaborative annotation. So suppose I am on my Teams client on laptop. I start sharing my screen and I want people in the call to annotate on top of it. And even the people who are sitting within the meeting room on the MTRs with the touch monitors attached to them, then they can have a facility called annotation on top of the screen. Once they click on that annotation icon, the complete screen of theirs becomes a whiteboard canvas. And the people at the far end are equally now using that canvas and can use it from the MTR devices in the meeting rooms if they are connected to the touch monitors. So if you have a touch monitor, you can go on top of it, you can start sharing and annotating on the content that is being shared. The next feature, which again has come up with Teams Client Premium license, and that is your watermarking of the content that is getting shared so that you can avoid theft of the content. And in fact, in case there is a theft, you can find out where exactly it went from. So today, if from the Teams client somebody is sharing this content and it is being watermarked with his email ID and it's being supported by Microsoft Teams Room on Android platform, and you can see that watermarking there once you see the content from the meeting room. And then the last but not the least is the room reservation extension. Now, suppose you are having a meeting from 9 to 10, and now you want to extend that meeting for 15 minutes. Then you have an option within the Teams Room device where you can extend it with a slab of 15 minutes, and you can go up to 1 hour, depending if the room is free and not being occupied for the other meeting. So that is extend room reservation feature that will be there in your Microsoft Teams room on Android devices in future. So I think that is what was all from my side. I hope these features and updates would have given you much insights, and you would be now feeling comfortable talking to your customers and giving them a roadmap that this is what is coming up, and they can prepare their devices to get these software and firmware releases soon. So with that, I'll come to end of my presentation and thank you for your time and patience listening to me. Stay tuned, stay connected, and happy selling. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for this updates for Microsoft Teams Rooms, Prashant. So, partners, for any questions regarding the presentation, you may send it to our chat box on your screen. Okay, so now to discuss the certified Microsoft Teams Rooms device for Jabra product and update, let me call on our Jabra product specialist, Mr. Nathaniel Tangilig. Hi, Sir Nathan. You may now take the screen.
Hello, hello, sir. Hi, hello, Tessa. Do you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see my screen now? Mhm.
Yes, it's visible.
Mhm. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Tangilig. I'm the product specialist of Jabra video conferencing. So, today we're going to talk about the hybrid ways of working. So, in meeting equity, yes, this is an fundamental part of the hybrid working future. Yes, because we wanted to give everyone an equality when it comes to their device that they're using. So even if they're working from home, we wanted to us to deliver the right devices anywhere they are. So if ever they're working from the office, we wanted to have a proper device position in them. Okay, so this is actually a current feature of the Panacast 50 here in Jabra. So we have here the intelligent zoom, virtual director, dynamic composition, always on people count, and live whiteboarding streaming. So these are the current features that we can enjoy using from the Panacast 50 alone itself. Yet. But if we're going to use the room systems that we have, it will also apply with the room systems that run on Windows based. So the benefits of the room systems, it provides everything the user needs in the meeting room. So you do not require the users to use any laptop and bring it in the meeting room experience with the room system, but with the room system itself, you can use it right away. Okay. So also another feature that we enjoy is you do not have to fumble around with the cables anymore. So with the traditional video conferencing that we have before, it is very frustrating for technical